Patreon clone commander Captain Bennington requested that I talked about every single ATAT Commander action figure in the 3 3/4 scale. Now, I'm not an expert on ATAT Commanders. I am not. So this video is not titled Every ATAT Commander Ever. This is titled Evolution, because I am not confident in saying that I have all of them, because I'm worried there's like a slight variation, probably of the Power of the Force one. I'm not going to say I have all of them. I did do my research. I'm pretty sure I have a pretty good representative sample of basically all of them. But yeah, there's not too many. It's basically also General Veers. It also doubles as General Veers, because the only real ATAT Commander we saw in the movies was General Veers. So basically, the ATAT Commander is General Veers. But as we'll see, especially one of these, kind of, more generic, more on the generic side. But as we can see, the evolution has definitely gone a ways. This celebrates 30 years of toy engineering differences, because it's kind of crazy. The last ATAT Commander we got, that one right there, actually came out in the very first wave of the Vintage Collection. It's kind of wild, but it's pretty cool. Came out in 2010, the first wave of TVC. But let's start at the beginning, 1980. I do have myself a vintage ATAT Commander. And this one's a special figure. Special, not because it's special to me in particular, but special because this is one of those original vintage Kenner figures that suffers from some quality control issues, namely, one leg being shorter than the other. Yup. It's funny how some people praise vintage toys as like, oh man, those toys are amazing. They won't make them like they used to. Yeah, in some ways I hope they don't, because I'm sorry, take off your nostalgia goggles. Toys have never been perfect, especially when one leg is noticeably longer / shorter than the other. So this does mean that my ATAT Commander actually stands at a lean. He will stand, but he leans off to one side, which is kind of cute. Yeah, I can't bring myself to get another one, because that's just too adorable, honestly. And also, besides that, mine's actually in really good condition. He doesn't have a rubbed off nose. You can clearly see his eye paint and everything. He's got the little commander badge right there. Very solid when it comes to the color. Now, not a lot of color on the original Kenner figure. There's no real differentiation between the armor and the actual costume. The helmet was very small. It definitely made the head look very small as well. I just could never get over the leg difference. Of course, I'm sure he probably came with, a blaster, probably the Stormtrooper blaster or whatever. Not really worried about guns on vintage Kenner figures. I like having them from time to time, man. They're really neat. I wish I had some more, but I don't really seek them out. I see bins all the time, like beater Star Wars Kenner figures, $5 each, and I see plenty of them in there I don't already have, and I'm just I'm not worried about it right now. Maybe someday. I'm never gonna get all 90 something they made. I'm not. I have a pretty decent collection of vintage Kenner. I have my favorite figures. I'm not looking to get a massive collection, but still, this is one I'm definitely happy to have. Next up is actually the latest one I've added to my collection. I actually think I got this in the P.O. box. Of course, I forget who sent it to me. Some YouTubers, they do the very nice, courteous thing of making a list of, okay, this person sent me this one, this one, this one, this one. I never had the foresight to do that, and I got over 100 episodes into my P.O. box unboxings, and man, I am the worst. I acknowledge that I'm the worst, okay? I'm sorry I don't remember who sent me this, but I'm pretty sure I got it in the P.O. box. Either way, thank you so much. These kind of videos would not be possible without you guys. This is actually a pretty good figure. I was actually quite surprised. I remember when I got it in the P.O. box, I actually said I was planning on buying it, and I was. I actually have been going back and getting the Power of the Force. That's what I was about to say. The Power of the Force versions of a lot of Imperial characters, because I mostly collect Imperial stuff when it comes to the original trilogy. And yeah, this is actually a pretty good one. It's kind of funny how I made him look behind Yeah, the head's not bad. I think it actually has a pretty decent likeness to Veers. Mine has a poopy nose, but that's alright. You can see he's actually got a lot more paint. He's got like a brim on the helmet. He's got the strap of the goggles. He's got a more signified badge there. It does have differentiation in the color between the costume and the armor. A lot of more color on the armor right there. A lot of detail that the Kenner one didn't even include. The belt has more color. You can see the quality definitely went up when it comes to the production value between Power of the Force, or between Vintage and Power of the Force. I mean, there was like a good, 15, 16 years between them. I would be surprised if there wasn't. Articulation also improved. He's got a waist swivel now. So yeah, that's definitely a nice one. Also, legs don't have any issues, so that's good. But after that one, I'm pretty sure this mold actually got a few re-releases as well. Maybe some slight repaints and variations. Like I said, I'm not calling this every ATAT Commander ever, because I don't claim that they are. This is just the evolution, just kind of showing how the figures went. So jumping from the late 90s to the mid-2000s, we have the Saga Collection General Veers. This is probably my personal favorite, because this one is very distinctly supposed to be General Veers. I really like the helmet. I think that the size of the goggles is more accurate to the movie. I think the size of the helmet itself is a little more accurate, even though it does have a reason why it's so big, and we'll get to that. The armor is really nice, too. I like the detail on that, little colors and things. It does have color differentiation, which I like, and there's actually a very valid reason for that. That's because this ATAT Commander armor is removable. So you can make him the officer version of Veers, which I think is super cool. Now, is the articulation on this figure very, very dated? Yeah, it's pretty dated. He's got ball joint at the head, swivels at the shoulders, swivels at the elbows, swivels at the wrist, swivel at the waist, and swivels at the hips. So we've gone from 5 points of articulation to 6 to how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. We've about doubled it. So that's pretty cool. He does actually have a holster, a working holster, for an E11, which I think is pretty neat. So you can have him holding that if you want. I personally like him just posed with his arms behind his back. I normally pose him without the armor, but since I had to dig out the armor for the video, I'll probably just leave the armor on him. Yeah, I actually think he does look really good with the armor. I think this was a good solution. And this is actually something that the Black Series Commander Veers, ATAT Commander General Veers also did. I actually did own that figure for a little bit, but I opened it up and I'm like, wow, this is so boring, and I got rid of it. That was actually a little bit of a turning point for me when it comes to Black Series and just buying some. It was on sale too. It was like $5, and I still was like, I don't even want it anymore. Anyways, jumping from 2006 to 2010, we have the latest ATAT Commander, and that is the Vintage Collection one. So I have a love-hate relationship with this figure. I love it because it's very good. I hate it because I cannot count the times. How many times this figure has fallen off my shelf just because he's like in the front row, because he's the commander, and this helmet gets knocked off and it's flown behind something. I would say at least about 10 to 15 times that has happened with this figure. I actually have 2 of it, and it's funny. When I went to grab one off the shelf, the other fell, and guess what? Still haven't found the helmet. It's somewhere. I didn't have my flashlight on me when it fell, so I'm like, oh, I'll look for it probably when I put all these back. But yeah, the helmet does not stay on at all. Might want to get some blue tack or something. I need to get blue tack. My brother got it and he says it's like a miracle. I need to get some blue tack on that helmet because I am sick of it. The goggles are actually a separate piece as well, which is really nice. They do kind of stretch over the helmet. I don't really think you could put them on the face. I wouldn't really think that's possible. It also doesn't really look like General Veers at all. It just looks like a maybe generic, ATAT Commander Imperial guy. The armor is actually removable, which is nice. You can remove that armor if you want, but you are still left with the ATAT Commander belt. But you can see they actually did bother to paint the little rank badge there silver. Now, granted, they didn't add any rank to it, but it is silver, which I appreciate. Get that back on. The color differentiation, I feel like there should be more. It is there, but it's more slight on this one since it's a lighter gray. He also does have a working holster, though. This one's actually more of like a cross-draw style, because the, you know, where the little magazine slot is, you can only really have it one way, so it's more cross-draw, which is neat, kind of more officery. His articulation, he has a ball joint at the head, ball hinges at the shoulders, swivel at the waist, ball hinge at the elbows there, swivel at the wrist, hinge at the legs, ball hinge at the knee, and ball hinge at the ankle. And it's kind of funny, for a while there they were having the color of the hinge not really match. So we went from 5 to 6 to 10 to, let's do a count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22. You may be wondering, oh, why did you count like the shoulders and elbows twice? This is one point of articulation. This is another point of articulation. Some figures can just do this. Others can do this. That means it has another point, you know. So we went from 5 to 6 to 10 to about 22. So that's pretty cool. That is some action figure evolution right there. Now, will we ever get a new ATAT Commander? We might. I would probably imagine we would. I don't actually think that one's been re-released. Correct me if I'm wrong, I do not think that's been re-released in Modern Vintage Collection. I'm pretty sure it has not. If it would be, I actually would hope they would give it a new head sculpt that actually looks more like General Veers, because I just think, you know, General Veers is kind of a little more worthy of having an action figure than just generic ATAT Commander man. Because honestly, I think these three pretty accurately represent General Veers, but that one doesn't really. It's just a generic ATAT Commander guy. So there we go. There is the evolution of the ATAT Commander. Thank you so much to Captain Bennington for this awesome Patreon recommendation. I actually think this is a really cool video. I need to do more of the evolution videos. I've been meaning to do one for General Grievous. There's a couple molds that I still feel like I need to get for Grievous. I think that'll come here soon, though. I'll try to get that out by the end of the year, evolution of Grievous. But yeah, I really like these evolution videos. I did them for a while and I stopped. I need to bring them back. I need to bring them back. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to the patrons of Patreon, especially to Captain Bennington for requesting this. If you become a Patreon clone commander, you actually get to have a video recommendation, and I am obligated to do it. There hasn't really been a situation where I haven't been able to quite yet, but if you do become a clone commander, and if you recommend it, and if there's issues, we'll talk it out. We'll make sure that I make a video for you that you are very satisfied with. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.